Two Queers in a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon.
Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck time, and it is January 14th. We're already mid-month in January of 2026. Hope this year goes by faster.
Yes.
Anyway, with better success at the end of the year.
That's right.
Just not to be a dead horse, but anyway, we'll jump right into it, and here we go. We ended last week's show pretty much talking about how MAGA women are imitating drag queens and trans people. And I kind of want to riff on that again, but it's a different topic, but it's kind of the same. And I've been reading online, especially on a service called Reddit, and there's a lot of these they're making fun of these conservative memes online. One of them is how teachers make students gay and trans. And they're trying to do this whole thing where they show a teacher dancing and in the front of the picture, and there's like these gay flags and trans flags and all this, and that they're claiming that you need to. Basically, their point is you need to homeschool your kid or get your kid away from the public school education, because all the public schools do now is turn kids gay and trans. So many more trans kids and gay kids now than ever before. Just this general fear-mongering amongst the ignorant and huddled asses out there about queerness. And they're just so afraid of it. They just churn this, and there's just enough stupid people in that movement to believe it. And every time you post anything about trans, as far as it being positive, the trolls come out. They just come out, they just go nuts. So we see it on our Facebook page on this show. It doesn't even have to do anything about transness, but they start talking about transness, even if we don't even bring it up. Even if we don't bring it up on the show. It's amazing how fearful they are of it. Now, I don't know if it's because so many of the dudes in MAGA are attracted to trans women.
Yep.
And the women are going, you better get rid of those trannies. You better get rid of those trannies. You got to force them out. And of course, they're sneaking off with biases, looking at trans sex workers all the time. And I've noticed in the parts of the country where I've lived, the more conservative, I get hit on by a lot more conservative Republican types. I can tell you, the more progressive the area, the less that happens. And it is just funny how many of these down bros are out there. And I think that's a big part of the movement. I think the drag queen looking MAGA women are so fearful that they're altering their face and their appearance to look like us, hoping that their men that have never been attracted to them will be attracted to them.
Yeah.
Even though most MAGA women have the personality of a left foot. like these women have. A lot of them aren't that attractive anyway, and then they start doing these surgeries, and extreme procedures where they look cartoonish. Like Christian Cano, you can tell she's done a lot of work, but it's not helped her because she still has the personality of a rabid pit bull. Like she's still a crazy, crazy, crazy person. MTG, same way. Bobert, same way. It's not just the way they look that these men are not attracted to them. They're cray cray.
Yeah.
Holy Mike's wife, she's cray cray. She's absolutely nuts. And this is typical of most, especially holy roller women. They get very holier than thou. They're usually the biggest perverts ever. Like they're the wildest women ever. I had a friend when I was young. He said the reason he went into the Baptist ministry was to go to these revivals and sleep with women. After the revival, he says it's better than going to the club. He said they're drunk on Jesus. And he said holy women will sleep with you in the night. And he was getting laid all the time, so I don't think he was wrong. Trump got pissed off at Melania the other day on camera. They were having some kind of big function at the White House in one of the tacky new ballrooms that they have. And she was having a conversation with their father. They were sitting at a bowling table, and
it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and her and her dad were, it looked like it's Christmas Eve, on top of she's talking to her dad, and probably doesn't always get to talk to him all the time. And here she is, the almost end of the, year back in the White House. She's chit chat with her dad, and it's festive. And Trump's sitting on the other side of the table with his arms flailing around. He's visibly pissed that she's ignoring him. And you can tell he looks like a 3-year-old. Here, this guy is 80 years old, president of the United States, and she can't have a conversation with her dad. And he's just like, just flailing around. Just looks like a toddler that did not get the toy at Toys R Us. Literally just stomping his feet, just fucking fighting Matt. And she finally turns her head and says something to him. But you can tell he is put out. He's trying to, get the camera to pay attention to him. He needs attention. This guy is such a megalomaniac and egomaniac that he's a toddler that shit his pants and is just literally sitting there stewing in his own farts and feces, having a tantrum. An 80-year-old president of the United States. He's got plenty of money in the bank because of his family scams. Billions of dollars in crypto scams. President of the United States, it's not enough. And with these type of people, it's never enough. Like, these type of people, they get drunk off the thrill of getting away with stuff. And especially narcissists and sociopaths like him, it's never going to be enough. If he slept with one porn star, he's got to sleep with 10. If he rounded up one schoolgirl, he's got to have a dozen. He's got to have a school bus full of them or a pageant full of them. Like, this guy's never, if he's blown one former president, he wants to blow 3 more. That's probably why he doesn't like Biden and Obama. I'm sure he's fetishized Obama many times in his mind. And even though I'm sure Obama doesn't want syphilis lips anywhere near him. Like, I mean, can you
syphilis
imagine?
Lips.
Like, Obama, one of the cleanest, most scandal-free presidents ever. His biggest scandal was wearing a tan suit. That was his biggest scandal in 8 years. Kids never got in trouble. Wife never got in trouble. didn't even have a blowjob controversy in the White House like Clinton did. But you got Trump that pretty much they have a Watergate level scandal almost every week. Like you literally, if we really were back in the day when accountability existed, which we're not, Jesus, we'd have a hearing every week. There'd be a new hearing, a new investigation every week. If we had our old standards. Like there'd be an Iran Contra Watergate's level scandal. There's one every week with these people, if not more. But we're up against our first break, and we'll be right back with more Two Queers in the Truck after these messages. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in the Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye, boo. Happy Pride. Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Two Queers in a Truck. And we do broadcast on YouTube and Facebook in a video version. And we're also on all the audio platforms out there. So your favorite way to listen to your podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years, and we appreciate y'all listening. We know you have a ton of choices, even though we may be the best choice. We always appreciate our listeners, and we'll try to bring you quality in the future. Thanks for listening. As always, Christian and Jenny, we're out. Thank y'all. And these people, especially Trump, Stephen Miller, the whole Nazi brigade, it's never going to be enough. There's never going to be enough. It's not, and it's not about the American people. It's about them enriching themselves, getting away with stuff, crazy propaganda. Just they're uncorked. In fact, now that basically the Affordable Care Act lapsed as far as the supplements is concerned, and millions of people are now without insurance this month. I think we need to nickname the ACA now the Trump Doesn't Care Act. Because of incompetence of the Congress, it doesn't need to be attached to Obama anymore. They've ruined it. They ruined what Obama and then eventually Biden did, which Biden passed those subsidies to make it more affordable. And because the Congress, specifically the House of Representatives, didn't want to work last year, which is typical MAGA, the House of Representatives, the People's House, literally did not work for the people at all last year. Like, they took over half of the year off. Like, literally did not work. And then left Washington, D.C. without re-upping the ACA supplements, tripling and quadrupling some people's premiums. And the only choice they have is to go without, because they can't afford it. And because they've slashed subsidies to Medicare and Medicaid, good for getting that. So basically, they need to rename the ACA, since the Obamacare thing is just a name anyway. It's really the Affordable Care Act. It's the Trump Doesn't Care Act, because he doesn't. They literally, none of the MAGAs care. The only thing they're interested in is holding power as long as they can and enriching their businesses as much as possible. That's the only reason Trump's in the White House, and to avoid prosecution, obviously, for all his lifetimes of crimes of philandering and kid diddling. He's basically staying in the White House as long as he can, rather than go to the big house where he belongs. And that is the hallmark of the MAGA administration since 2017, which is Trump doesn't care. He's convinced everybody he does, at least on the MAGA side, because they're stupid. And MAGAs are stupid. You're a rank and file MAGA voter. I mean, you think the leadership's stupid. The fact that you didn't buy this idea once, you bought it twice.
Some three times.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually voted for this guy 3 times. because once wasn't enough. You got 3 helpings of a shit sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
They keep coming back to it like a buffet at the Golden Corral. And it's fitting that this guy loves gaudy gold things and everything he does is super tacky. And I hope, by the way, people have figured out that his Trump phones, they have a new company that's these Trump phones. They're selling smartphones. Come to find out, most of them are refurbished smartphones. They're overpriced.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we didn't see this scam coming.
Exactly.
And these Trump phone purchasers are getting really pissed because they're figuring out these phones are outdated big pieces of shit.
Mm.
For a lot of money, like way too much money. Like, these people, you guys literally have put hundreds of thousands of farmers out of business, raised costs and inflation across the board, and you guys believe that he's going to be a good phone? Like, this guy has the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything he touches, he turns to shit. He's like, if a flea market yard sale had a butt baby, it'd be everything that Trump sells.
Mm.
Like, this guy is the ultimate carny. Really important point. What's the name of the Trump shooter from last year?
Of the what?
Without Googling it, what is the name of the Trump shooter?
Oh.
And why haven't we seen more talked about? Because we can remember who shot Kennedy, Lee Harvey Oswald. We remember who shot Lincoln almost 200 years ago, John Wilkes Booth. But why did the mass media, especially, we're not even talking about this guy? And literally, that's what changed the course of the election. Trump got sympathy. It welled up more support for him because, he mysteriously got shot weeks after Harris got the nomination, got into the race, got the momentum. We saw record fundraising for her. And all of a sudden, he magically gets shot, not shot, and walks around with a mountain pad on his ear for 3 or 4 weeks. And mysteriously, 80-year-old man, perfectly recovered in record time with literally no scars, even though a rifle bullet tore through his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe that, I got to get some golden Trump phones I can sign out for $1,000 a pop. Literally. But why? What is that guy's name? Why are we hearing endless stories about him? I mean, Congress hasn't brought up an investigation. There hasn't been. The Justice Department doesn't talk about him at all. Like, there's nothing about this guy. We're not talking about him at all. It's like as if he never existed. Like, people don't talk about him like 60 Minutes doesn't talk about him like that they did in the news anymore. But literally, this guy's disappeared. You would think a historical figure that historically changed the course of a political election, probably one of the most consequential elections in our lifetimes, by re-electing this turd. This is the guy that did. This is the guy that turned it all around as this mythological, hey, yeah, the cops saw him up on the roof, but it's okay, we know he's supposed to be there type guy. We can't remember his name because we're not talking about him. And why have just a little over a year later? It's not been that long. I can't remember his name. But why can't nobody else? Why is nobody else talking about it? Like, we had a whole investigation on the Warren Commission about the Kennedy assassination.
Mm-hmm.
And this affected our election. This is part of election rigging right here, guys. is you do a fake assassination. It's like the fire in the Reichstag in the 1930s. It was a distraction to keep Hitler in power. It was a distraction to keep our Hitler in power and put him back in office and turn that shit around. Because he was thinking, he was done. Harris was going to win until that happened. And his most defiant moment is when he sprung to his feet like a true WWE wrestler, the blood packet in hand and all over his deal, and he's shaking his fist. Even though people, when they get shot, usually go into shock, especially 80-year-old lard asses like that. Somehow he was able to jump to his feet and be able to do that with his bone spurs and everything else. And we're up against our second break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck after these important messages. Hey y'all, this is Jetty with Two Queers in a Truck, and Christian's along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season, and super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it, and we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye boo.
Hi everybody, this is Yorense from the Americo show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA, go to your nearest homeless shelter, go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normity, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from Americo, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
But why has the Trump shooter disappeared? Like, it's just disappeared out of pop culture. We don't talk about him. It's like, where's Waldo? And I think it's food for thought, because why have we all stopped talking? But we're not talking about him. We don't name him. You know, most of these shooters, even the Reagan shooter, we talked about more than this guy. And this guy actually shot Reagan. We saw him shoot Reagan, and he shot Jim Brady and a bunch of other people that day. And why did this guy shoot so many times and not really hit anybody? If it was really meant to shoot a bunch of people, why haven't we heard about his ideology or his manifesto or the reason why he shot? But why didn't he shoot somebody else that day too? Why did he miss? I think he missed everybody. I don't remember if he hit anybody. And why aren't they being talked about, the people that actually did get shot? They're really trying to convince people that these Venezuelan boats that we're sinking in the ocean, like there's been, I think, 30 of them now. It's really strange. A couple things. One, and all the wreckage, they haven't found any drugs. And now they're trying to claim there's drugs and guns coming in on these ships that were sinking out in the middle of the ocean. But just like this, I mean, like if you can give Trump just a fake plastic badge if you visit the White House, if you're a dignitary, like a police chief or a head of a law enforcement deal, you can just bring him in like a cheap plastic badge you would give to a 5-year-old to impress them, and he parades it around, or the big trophy that he got from FIFA, his fake peace prize that he got. What? And like fishermen, when they catch a really big shark or really big fish, they got a big picture of it all strung up on the boat docks. Why don't we see on the ship of an on a deck of an aircraft carrier? Why don't we see tons of drugs, bags of drugs, and ammunition from these boats? Why don't we see pictures of all these drugs and guns that these Venezuelans are supposedly running to the United States? Why is that? And just like with Al Qaeda and 9/11, we saw every one of the terrorists, like we talked about them all the time. They were always on the news there in 2001 and 2002 especially. Pictures of them, stories about them, how they, went to these private flight schools in the United States, learned how to fly planes supposedly, all that. Why aren't we parading through the media who these terrorists are? If they're supposedly that scary, and then we have to send out our military out to stop these guys, why aren't we seeing them paraded more? These big, scary narco terrorists that they're supposedly being. Our U.S. Navy is really stopping this invasion that they're claiming we're doing, because that's what they're claiming. They're claiming that these ships are carrying not only tons of drugs, including fentanyl. Well, the truth is 80% of all fentanyl is acquired by Americans on American soil. It's not even imported in. Second of all, and this is the most important thing, one of the biggest fentanyl guys, Trump just pardoned in 2025. By the way, y'all. So again, fentanyl doesn't even come from Venezuela. And most of it comes from the United States here. And what doesn't come from the United States, it comes from a couple other countries, including China. Because it's a manufactured drug. It's not a street drug. Okay? People aren't making it in their bathtubs. And I watched this interesting study. And this blogger, a progressive woman, there's a study, and I don't remember the study's name, but it was designed to see typical political persuasions versus their IQ. And the study found the higher the IQ, typically the more progressive or liberal they were, because they tend to be more open-minded, tend to ask more questions, and they tend to seek progress. And that lower IQs, aka stupid people, tend to be more conservative because they're afraid of a lot, or their fear of the unknown. The boogeyman is real to them. So everything's the boogeyman. Drag queens, trans people, toothbrushes. It's like the old joke.
Fluoride.
We know that the toothbrush was invented in Arkansas. Because anywhere else it'd be called the teeth brush. This is the same crowd that lobbied against seatbelts and motorcycle helmets. The freedom people. Remember old Gary Busey, the actor that got brain damage from a motorcycle accident? The one that before that went to Congress and lobbied to the California Congress to not enact a helmet law for California, and then a few months later, a year later, kisses the pavement himself and does irreversible brain damage. And now he's never been the same. It's like, chickens for Chick-fil-A. It is like cows for Outback Steakhouse. And stupid people fear that now. They fear that's one of the reasons they love religion is because their sky daddy tells them, oh, it's going to be okay if you follow my rules. Well, what are the rules? Well, whatever my little representatives say they are. Like we make it up as we go. The rules tend to change. Because pretty much every year the Bible's rewritten anyway. It has. Homosexuality in the Bible wasn't even talked at all before the 1930s. Like there was no mention of homosexuality in the Bible. The word homosexual was not in there until people put it in the 1930s in the States. True story. It's not the Bible that fictional Mesopotamian Jesus wrote. Because he didn't even write the book. It was written by the Romans 400 years after his death. Almost 500. When we were on the cusp of the Middle Ages. But yeah, higher IQs tend to progress because we go, hey, that doesn't seem right. We ask questions. Magas go, it's not right to question the Lord, whoever the Lord is. Whether it's Holy Mike, whether it's Dumpster, whomever. And you ever noticed that their most sacred cows in the MAGA movement are the biggest scumbags in the world? And power Christians in general love the scumbags. I guess because they're the biggest snake oil salesman. Like Trump always says, smart people don't like me. There is reason. They're tearing down schools and making sure every public school looks like a gay and trans manufacturing plant. And convince dumb people to make their kids even dumber. So they ensure generations of stupid conservatives. And the irony is the two founders of Turning Point, Charlie Kirk's organization, one of them was an anti-masker that died of COVID. And Charlie Kirk was a pro-gun nut that died of a bullet. It's funny how the cock of consequence luckily bites all these guys right in the neck. But we'll see y'all next week. It's 2026. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Hey, y'all. Bye, boo.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And most importantly, I love to turn this about us. If you get a chance, like and follow us on social media, especially on Instagram. We have a Two Queers page. And for our sister show, Coffee and Pen Pulsing, and a whole bunch more is going on. Learn about it on Facebook and Instagram, and maybe even subscribe. Give it a test drive, see what you think. Who knows? The water's fine. Go ahead and dip on in. But anyway, look at the opportunity, see what you think, see if you can get some more special content from us, and much more. More kookiness, more zaniness, because we all need that in our life. It's a nice distraction from what's going on. Anyway, see y'all next week. Appreciate as always as y'all listen and watch this shows. And I don't know, enjoy our January. Bye y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, y'all.